The No Man's Sky Voyagers update is a beast, adding the new Corvette class ship that can be crewed solo or with friends and built completely to your own wishes with a very Starfield-esque building system that has had the Hello Games treatment and been made way better. These ships are basically drivable bases. We also have some other cool stuff like the clearly referencey Skyborn Exosuit, spacewalking, Twitch drops, and a new expedition starting very soon. If you've seen the shipbuilding in Starfield, imagine that, but better. If you haven't, then it's basically ship parts that snap together on a big grid. Landing gear, cockpit, habitation unit, thrusters, turrets, etc. They all adhere to a standard measurement grid, so you can Lego them together in whatever combination you want. There are also decorative parts. In fact, most of the different parts are decorative, as the look of your ship is absolutely important to you. Once built, these ships are a whole new class of ship, the Corvette class being somewhere between starships and frigates. They act like a normal starship for ownership and quantity limits, same with summoning and so forth. However, they can be a whole lot bigger. They have an autopilot function for flying to places in the system you are in, and at any point you can just get out of the pilot seat and walk around your ship. You can even build parts in it while it's pulsing to some ruins or whatever. A super great touch for me is the pulse drive power. While I haven't seen the number yet, it is apparently stronger than all of the standard ships, which means even faster than an interceptor, so looking forward to seeing that. Now, even after that, there are a lot of ways this can work. So for instance, the parts you choose, do they influence a ship in any functional way? The answer is yes, as the modules are split into core and structural parts. The core parts have a few different rules. Some of them have quantity limits, such as the cockpit, which are only allowed one. However, the core parts also have stats and basically work like upgrade modules. It's going to take some testing and time to work out the exact rules for this and how far you can push it and min-max the stats, but there is some really cool potential here. Another thing to take note of for functionality is that the larger this ship, the heavier it will feel. As so, while more parts give more stats, the bigger you get, the worse that maneuverability is going to be. So there will definitely be an art to this. Next is what kind of variation do we get? Well, it's quite a lot. There are multiple different design sets, such as Thunderbird, Titan and Ambassador. Thunderbird is designed to have a pirate theme with lots of exposed pipes and wiring, maybe a little plate patchwork. Titan is the industrial, militaristic design with lots of metals and a cockpit full of targeting systems. Ambassador is the bright, plush interior fit for wining and dining your business partners. As for where to get the parts, you can buy the basic ones when building one. You build Corvettes in space stations. Each now has 4 Corvette landing pads, which also count as builders. They are huge and so are linked to the main part of the station via teleporters. From these you can purchase some limited Corvette parts, but you can also trade rarer parts. Now, buying the parts they sell is enough to make a Corvette, but if you want more, you'll need to hunt and trade. The ones you can buy are not available to trade for the rarer parts from the interface, and while I have yet to go hunting myself, the patch notes imply we can trade the salvage modules for the other rares, and so just not the purchasable default ones. As for where to hunt and salvage the modules, you'll need to look no further than salvageable scrap. Yes, they have made salvageable scrap worth getting. First, they overhauled ancient bones, no salvageable scrap. Digging these up can reward new modules for your Corvette, and the scrap no longer has a corrupted sentinel ambush attached to it. The amount of planets with bones and scrap available has also been increased. You can now also find Corvette modules on derelict freighters, rarely from destroyed pirates, freighter cargo pods, crashed freighter buried containers, frigate expeditions, and as mission rewards. So a pretty substantial array of options. Also, this may make you wonder about editing existing ships, and don't worry, you can take apart, rebuild and add to your existing Corvette ships, so don't hesitate too much about finalising the design. Whether the station you build it at has an effect on the base manoeuvrability and damage stats we don't yet know, but for the average person this tiny difference just won't matter anyway. As for class and slots, from what I've seen, a Corvette will be crafted as a C-class, which you can then upgrade to S-class and add more slots via the usual Starship upgrading console. Whether we'll have a consistent method of predicting supercharged slots, or at least replicating layouts for sharing is not yet known, but soon my peeps, soon. On that note, I'll be testing like crazy to get a good view of how this all works, but if any of you find out anything at all, please do let me know in the comments. The quicker I get the full picture, the quicker I can make the guide on it, so share away, I'd be super grateful. The interior of the Corvette is essentially a moving base, even more so than freighters, in the sense that you can not only manually fly it as a normal ship, but also even build inside while it's flying. Being able to customize this inside like it's a normal base is very cool. You can even add fireplaces. You can have a 3-input refiner in there, a nutrient processor too, to get your refining and cooking done on the move. You can add hydroponics to grow some crops. One of the really cool things you can have inside of one of these is the mission radar. The Corvette is built to be a multi-crew ship, so while only one person is needed to fly it, you are very welcome and able to adventure together with your friends in just one of them, as everyone can jump in the back and chill out in your ship while you pilot, or just set autopilot and join them in the back for a tactical meeting. The mission radar is basically a private mission board in your ship, allowing you to fly around looking for missions to complete either solo or in your group, using your new Corvette as a home base to regroup between actions. So how about the other features? Spacewalking is now a legitimate thing. The new Corvettes allow for the ramp at the back to be opened mid-flight and for you to exit the ship and thrust around it. How exactly the physics work for flying and inertia etc. along with the planetary gravity, I'm unsure of just yet. But it's pretty cool, and you no longer just fall to a close planet, or if not near any, the first planet in the system the second you enter space. A new set of customizations called the Skyborn Exosuit has been added. The really interesting part for this is that it can be applied to any of the races, meaning you can just use any of the body parts of the set with all races. The helmet is of course specific to Anomaly. The set looks really cool, like a classic astronaut suit with a big visor. There is also jetpack customization to match. You can now rebind every button on your controller on console. Granted, you won't want to change many, but being able to rebind keys is a big quality of life addition, especially when it's this detailed. A few different graphics-based improvements have been made in Voyagers. Some fancy changes to translucent surfaces has been added using something called MBOIT graphics technology, which stands for Moment-Based Order Independent Transparency. It focuses on the fidelity of things as seen through transparent surfaces such as glass, aiding immersion, especially when multiple transparent surfaces are layered in your view. With how epic No Man's Sky looks these days, after years of graphical improvements, it's not really having any trouble keeping up with current releases as a whole. DLSS 4 has been implemented. It would appear for those with Nvidia series graphics cards that support it. PSVR 2 players have had a big update with PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, improving image clarity with AI enhanced resolution. Abandon mode has had a few quick things done. The first is a fix to the Creech pellets recipe not being possible to obtain. To get around this, you could have cooked them in a nutrient processor, but crafting is a lot easier and there's no reason to not be able to do it in Abandon. The other is adding the hardframe mech parts to the research trees accessible through the buildable research items. Twitch drops are happening for the Voyagers update from tomorrow. That's from 2 PM BST on Thursday the 28th of August, running for 5 days with the drops changing each day. The change will happen at 2 PM BST for each of the days, with the last day starting Monday the 1st and ending at 2 PM on the Tuesday. Each day has 5 rewards, unlocking at 15, 13, 60 minutes and then 2 and 3 hours of watching any streamer on Twitch who is playing No Man's Sky with drops enabled. I will of course be streaming on Twitch every day for these drops, as well as a number of my streamer cohorts, so you won't have trouble finding people. Each day's rewards include a decal and fireworks at 15 minutes, a buildable at 30, an emoji or customization at 1 hour, then a multi-tool or pet at 2 and a ship at 3. New Expedition is almost upon us, and while usually I would expect it to start the next week, it's very possible and kinda likely it will start tomorrow, as we have Twitch drops starting then. The Corvette Expedition will focus on building and upgrading your own Corvette class starship. As far as the rewards go, the 2 important ones are the Deadeye Cannon module for putting on your Corvette, a big cannon weapon only available from the Expo, and a Mecha Mouse Companion, which is a pretty unique looking pet, so great for those collectors. This is a pretty substantial update. Not an insane list of notes like a lot of them, but the features added will have a huge impact of how the game can be played, improving multiplayer with this new ship while also expanding your custom experience. Guides, streams and more news coming, so keep an eye out. Peace.